The views and comments expressed on the following radio program by its hosts and their guests do not necessarily reflect the views of RMCOnAir.com or its affiliates. Listener discretion is advised.
What's going on, good people? It's your boy, the DC gentleman, Ryan Lucas, and I'm rocking out with U Nation Radio, Monday night love sessions, 10:30 to midnight, every Monday. Yo, yo, yo. Bo Jackson. To all of my people, to all of my African people.
I am gonna be all I can be. I am gonna be all I can be. I am gonna be all I can be. I am going to be all I can be.
You say it.
I am gonna be all I can be. I am gonna be all I can be. I am gonna be all I can be. I am gonna be all I can be.
Reaching for the stars, really far, somewhere out of space. Dreaming so big that my brain is nearly out of space. I don't waste the time, put the plan into action. Underrated legend, 2 games, Bo Jackson, yep. I'ma take what's mine without asking. Apologize, maybe after, maybe never. I just wanna live better. Let's get it together, treat your life like a treasure. Tell obstacles, I'm applying all the pressure. Leave town by sundown, get drowned for my pleasure. By any means, any schemes, any measures, I'm giving up the day after never, ever, ever. Whether or not they wanna see a black man behind bars, man, I'm a motherfucking star. Had a conversation with the universal God. She said the universe is ours. You say it.
I am gonna be all I can be. I am gonna be all I can be.
You say it.
I am gonna be all I can be. I am going to be all I can be.
You say it.
I am gonna be all I can be. I am gonna be all I can be.
You say it.
I am gonna be all I can be. I am gonna be all I can be.
4 years ago, I lost 2 loved ones in 6 months. I can't front, I was stuck, everyday funk. Well, I reached to the sky for some energy, not realizing my remedy was inner me. Gain more knowledge of self, study my history, discover we're the products of kings. No mystery for centuries. Africans deny liberation. They mask our importance with their false education. Put a halt to the fake and let's create a nation. Black and brown faces lead our own situations. Do it for the babies, yes, we can save them. Filled with African love, let's raise them. Relying on ourselves, we don't need nobody's help. We've got our own money, we don't need nobody's wealth. The words in the hook will give you confidence to make it. This is my everyday mantra, you say it.
I am gonna be all I can be. I am gonna be all I can be. I am gonna be all I can be. I am going to be all I can be.
Bo Jackson.
I am gonna be all I can be. I am gonna be all I can be. I am gonna be all I can be. I am gonna be all I can be.
Hands down, fist up. Hands down, fist up. Hands down, fist up. All my people sitting down, time to get up. Get up. Get up. Get up. Get up. Hands down, fist up. Hands down, fist up. Hands down, fist up. Hands down, fist up. All my people sitting down, time to get up. Get up. Get up. Get up.
Shout out to Ryan Lucas.
Man, that track is like hard.
This
I
right
don't
here.
know. So much inspiration,
right
so much
here.
motivation.
I want her back.
I've been trying to tell y'all to get this album. Get it.
Shout out to Ryan Lucas. Huge supporter of the show. We appreciate you. I am your girl, Akila Trinae, and you are tuned into U Nation Radio's Monday Night Love Sessions. Welcome back. We're here again last Monday in January. 2016 is already to an extremely fast start. I mean, we're almost in February. Like, are you serious right now? So I'm feeling the February vibe, and I'm wearing my love shirt. Remember, if you would like for me to wear one of your t-shirt lines, please hit me up, Akilah Trinae, on all social media, or unationradio@gmail.com. T-shirts every Monday. Still rocking them. Without any further ado, I'm going to kick it to my left to Mr. Cameron David.
Sorry, I was just posting.
Busy posting.
Yeah, I was posting that awesome intro that we just provided, courtesy of Ryan Lucas, the DC gentleman. Shout out to your boy. He's out there in the snow, in the blizzards. Shout out to everybody that's on the East Coast in the blizzards, praying for the families and everybody that's shut in. I got a couple family members out there, so shout out to y'all. First and foremost, we're going to hit the sponsors. First, we have Clean Green Music. Shout out to your boy.
Woo.
Woo. I don't know what that is.
Creativity, peace, inspiration, self-sufficiency.
Oh, there you go.
Great music.
Oh, yeah. And shout out to
Great music.
the DC gentleman. We got our jewelry up. I think Reed got his on, too. Also, we got shout out to Spider, Artistic Spider.
Artistic
web. I'm sorry, Spider. Shout out. So yeah. Also, if anybody would like to be a guest caller, you can call us tonight at the studio. 323-965-1600. Once again, that is Tres, Dosi Tres.
Oh, don't say it's 12. Don't be telling them wrong.
I said dos and 3. 323-965-1600. Thank you. I'm pass it over. Alley-oop to my boy Ree over there.
Hey yo!
No, that's do that again. Okay, we're gonna do that
You
one more time, guys.
Terribly messed up that assist.
Yeah, you late on the receive.
Oh, I'm
okay,
go ahead.
Okay, I'm gonna shoot it. I'm gonna throw it around the back to Ree. Okay, ready, go.
Yeah, we got it. All right. It's your boy DJ Ray, another night from Monday Night Love Sessions. Go ahead, hit us up on Facebook, UNation Radio, Twitter, UNation_radio, Twitter at UNation Radio, Periscope, UNation_radio. Go on Periscope, follow us, see what we're doing. I'll be Periscoping live during the show. You can watch this on our website or on rmconair.com. Just go on Periscope at UNation_radio. And shout out to Kling too. We want to help him out right now with this GoFundMe account. Keep posting on Facebook. Trying to send, I think, one of his family members off to college. And so I got the link down below for you. Support. We want to see our young people.
Yes, she would like to go to medical school, and that's awesome. But we know, well, I don't know if everybody knows, but medical school is expensive.
Yes.
And it's always huge when young women, are going into the medical field, especially African American young girls going into that field. So we want to make sure that we absolutely support. Shout out to you, Clean, for always being a supporter of things other people are doing. So we want to make sure that we return the love to you. So make sure that you support. I believe the information is right there on the screen. You should be able to see it. GoFundMe support. I didn't mean to steal that from you. I just
you good?
Jumped on.
Yeah. So how was everybody's day? How's everybody weekend?
Cool.
My day was pretty cool, pretty productive. I've been here pretty early at the studio. Chris seen me around, I think 7:30. Popped my head up a couple times.
He was trying to get on some other shows.
Yeah, I mean they had the what was that, Apollo? This thing was packed. I'm sure it was hot as hell in here, wasn't it, Chris? No. I don't feel it. But it was for real, niggas in every chair standing up. There was some moms in here or calling on the phone. She was very excited to be on the radio.
Okay.
But yeah, it was pretty cool. They had some good music, and the dude sounded like Bone Thugs. It was pretty nice. Why you laughing? It was dope. But yeah, man, it was a pretty cool day. I'm planning an event, just to let you guys know. I guess I'll put the buzz out there. I'm starting a little event, starting to plan for an event to launch my bow ties. Also, that event is going to be in conjunction with my cousin, who's a graphic artist.
Okay.
And he's from Chicago, so yeah, he's gonna fly out here. It's gonna be pretty dope. So yeah, be on the lookout for that. My weekend also was dope too.
Oh, really?
Yes, my weekend was dope.
I thought you were gonna say something about it.
Oh no, I just rode my bike. I like to ride my bike around LA.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's cool.
Do you guys ride
That's
bikes?
cool. I don't,
Why not?
because I'm afraid.
Oh yeah, you.
I'm afraid. Yeah.
She has a balance issue.
Yes, I do.
Yes, I do.
I do.
That's
Over the
alright.
weekend, my weekend was pretty just chill, very low key.
This is not.
But I did watch.
What did you buy?
It's not you, it's men. That's the Tyrese and Rev Run show. Because I actually went to a taping. I told you guys about it when I went to the taping. And so I wanted to see some of the other shows. And it just so happens that their debut episode was the one that I went to. Which was cool just to see like how much they change from what you see when you're at the studio to how much they edit out, you know. But I thought I liked the show. And I thought I liked the show. I like the show. Okay. But you know, it reminds me so much of what we do here, and I just felt like, you know, there's so many elements that we could add. You know, we're not Tyrese and we're not Rev Run, so we don't have their notoriety, but I'm saying though.
Oh yeah, I feel that.
You know what I mean?
I definitely agree.
But, you know. And then I didn't realize that, so at the end of the show, I stood up, asked a question. I didn't know the cameras were on because they made it seem like, you know, the show was over. So I'm thinking we're having a private conversation until I was watching at the end of the show. They had to go to the website and see the question and answer. So I immediately was like, oh my God, let me go. So I went to the website and there I am
Lo and
asking
behold.
a question. Were you at the spot? were you at
you
the
about to
spot?
play it?
You have to go a little to the spot because she asking a question about if you're because the episode was about sex and sensibility, and the girl before me, she was asking a question about if you are celibate, how soon should you let someone know that you meet, you know, that you're going on a date with, you know.
You should let them know up like that day. No, I mean,
And that-
like on the first date. Are you talking about? You said
Right,
that was
like like if you're
on the first
celibate
date.
and you go out on a date, or you're
I think if it
meeting
comes up,
somebody,
it. Oh, there you go, right there.
how soon should you let them know that you're not getting down like that?
Oh, well, let's see what your answer is.
No. I wasn't
Oh, you
answering the
went-
question.
oh.
I was asking him a question, which happens to be their headline for the entire article clip that they did.
Oh, check you out, big thing.
I was like, see, he need to come on the show. I got more questions. I wasn't done yet.
There you go. You should email them.
I did, and they didn't respond. See how they do me.
My question is for Tyrese, because I know that you do not drink and you don't smoke.
No.
I'm wondering what's the difference between you having the commitment to that and someone being committed to not having sex?
This is a very good question. If I grew up in a house where my mother and my dad were full-on prostitutes, I would probably be turned off about the concept of the idea of sex. My house was full of all levels of dysfunction, drugs, alcohol. It was so in my face, the fights, the abuse. Everything about my childhood was so out of control. I correlate drugs and alcohol abuse with being out of control. So I try my best to just keep it clean. It's really worked to my benefit. My career would have probably been over a long time ago if I had a crack lip or just like looking wrong because I'm just high at all times. So my mind is clear, and I mean, I love sex like most people do. I'm just trying to seek and find a wife one day. That's kind of it.
Yeah, he threw me that subliminal. was trying to tell me that he wanted me to be his wife. I was like, nah, bruh.
He didn't even look at your direction when he said that.
Because he was trying to not make it obvious. Come on now, Cam.
Get out of here.
Come on now.
All right.
How about Cam Newton, though? That was an amazing game.
He dabbed all night.
Yes.
I don't.
Did you guys see
Carolina
that?
Panthers, right?
Did you guys see that fan that fell off out of the stands?
A fan fell out of the stands?
Yes. On one of their touchdowns, this random fan fell, like flopped onto the field from behind. I was just like, I hope he didn't die.
Right.
Like, I'm sure a lot of people caught that. If you did, please send that in or try to tag me or something, because it was hilarious.
I know those little girls were excited to get those balls.
What balls? That was not the
The touchdown balls.
Oh yes, that
was. Anyway, tonight we're talking about secret expectations. Oh, shout out to Detroit.
No.
In his absence.
Yeah.
Let's have a moment of silence for him. We hope you're well. So, who gonna beat Detroit tonight?
I can't.
Okay, well, hopefully she shows up. I don't know. We're gonna have a special artist spotlight tonight by the name of Vintage. I know she has to host Mingle Mondays. That's what it's called, right? Mm-hmm. At the GS Lounge. But I got one of her tracks, so I think I'll go ahead and play Vintage. Let's chill.
Sitting on a cliff, waiting on a wind to come and push me off, to be caught by my own prince. Your kiss, it was so sweet, but I am not convinced until he said to me, until the very end, let's chill. Relationship's overdue, and I think that you are cool. I would love to get to know everything about your soul. We've been talking for some time. I can't get you off my mind, baby. Stay with me, oh, stay with me. Let's chill. That's all I wanna chill. Everybody say it with me. Da 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 diddy dee.
And that was Vintage.
Man, I can't get these goddamn.
Get it together. We're back on air.
I know. It's this hair. I'm not used to having hair. It's just crazy.
But you've kind of had those for a little while now.
I know, but they're longer now. So don't. And you always be trying to hate on my hang time. I got hang time, guys. It won't go back into the goddamn. It doesn't fit. So I have bangs. Sorry. And tunes.
They've gotten thicker. They've thickened.
We're growing.
Yeah. It be like that.
Yeah.
Hey, out here. We out here locked. What? Yeah.
So, shout out to shout out to Oakland. So I was on my bike ride this weekend. So I was riding up through South Central. I went from Florence down to Western, and there's a tax service. They was just bumping Bay Area music like all day, I assume. So I thought about you guys.
What is it?
Wow. All I heard was East Oakland. I was like, oh.
Yeah, that's what's
I thought I was in the Bay at first.
I miss Oakland. I'll be back.
But I was in South Central.
Shout out to everybody who's had a birthday. I feel like I've known so many people, Capricorns, who, I mean, just goodness. I mean, even though I think we're in Aquarius time
only
now.
One that matters
something like
in January.
That. But shout out to everybody who's had a birthday. Shout out to my best friend, D'Angelo. His birthday is on Wednesday.
Bing bong.
Shout out to you. You know what I mean? Like, happy birthday. It looks like we have a guest. So what I'm gonna do is
we have a visitor.
we have a visitor, and she can just go right on in there. So we'll do this. Just to because we did spotlight her. You just heard from her, and I believe she just walked in the building, which she did. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to another Ryan Lucas song. He's hot tonight.
Yes.
And then we're gonna get Vintage on the mic.
Feel me? This is All I Want by Ryan Lucas, featuring Just Paul, produced by Black Spade. Hot.
All I want, all I need, we can beat any obstacle in our life. You're all I want, all I need, we can beat any obstacle in our life. We can't quit, me and you like the feds, we define what dope is. Haters wanna talk, frontin' like showbiz. Just caught my gazelles, now I'm super focused. Motions motivated to make us the greatest there. Love is tainted, try to take us through the changes. They wanna throw a little curve in the mix. I hit them with a swift fist, swerve with a kick. Our love is stronger than the rumor. We dwell among stars, talking high, something new today. Got dreams to see me and you losing. I put a ring on it just to confuse confusion. Topic of gossip, front page gossip, airing out the secrets in the house full of closets. Your dad wanna know where this love thing is headed. Your mom wanna see a traditional wedding. You're all I want, all I want, all I need, all I need. We can be any obstacle in our life. This is impossible, they all sick, need a hospital. Hot lava can't stop the flow, locking you down like a hostage hold, making a hostile home. They want a box, come on, I'm in the Rocky mode. Ready for war with them like a Rocky zones. No, they can't stress us, hunger for the beef, make a DC gentleman. Take it to the streets, got you covered like a poncho. Play games rondo, I hear the whispers in the dark. John Lake was Amo, and our love they have high interest like a car loan. They all broke, has a cigar smoke. No need to panic, I'm a certified Panther. They can't understand what we got is fantastic. Want us to think this is not the Titanic. Want us to think this is not as God planned it. You're all I want, all I want, all I need, all I need. We can be any obstacle in our life.
yo, it's your boy Dontrell Detroit, that cool, talking, smooth, walking cat. Get at us 10:30 p.m.
That was
Oh, Jesus.
Only we know. Only we know. Okay. Vintage Spoken Soul. Vintage is a name that is slowly being recognized and applauded in the cutthroat, competitive music industry. Gifted with a voice that is unlike any other, this young artist is excited about her new release and is already being considered a huge hit. Spoken Soul is also the beginning of a new genre in music, calling fans for a real treat. Her a cappella version, Famous, which is a remake of Jasmine Sullivan's original rendition, is a song which truly reflects Vintage's strength as an artist. Beautiful highs and lows in combination with foot tap and rap make this song a listener's delight. The song is also characteristic of a new movement in the music industry where self-expression is emerging to be the latest trend, a trend that is destined to stay in vogue for a long time to come. Each of her songs that are part of the new release, Spoken Soul, is very unique, pulling together elements from the artist's personal endeavors. It is this versatility that makes Vintage a real artist. More than anything, it is the potential Vintage holds that will make the industry look to her for inspiration and creativity. Please, U-Nation Radio family, Monday Night Love Sessions, help us welcome to the show, Miss Vintage.
Yeah.
Yes. That's awesome.
Welcome to the show.
It feels good to be here.
Nice.
Wonderful.
We're excited to have you. So let's start. Let's just jump in. Where's your inspiration?
People. People inspire me. People who like follow their dreams and do what they say that they're going to do really inspire me to like be the best version of myself I could ever possibly be, and that's what really drives me. And I look at people, everything, like you see people every single day, and everybody has drive, everybody has something that they do because they love it. Some people don't. And the fact that there are people who actually follow their dreams and set goals and speak things into the universe and just watch them happen, it's just like, it gives me chills. And so that's why I do what I do so passionately, because this is what I love. And I love seeing people do what they love as well. So it's inspiring. That's what inspires me.
Awesome. At what age did you know that you wanted to sing?
Man, as early as I could remember. I guess like when I was in elementary, I would say like the first or second grade. Yeah, I was just like always into it. My mother was a singer too. Yeah. My mom was a singer as well. She used to do shows and stuff like that, and so I just lived in a household where it was just full of talent and everything like that. So my mom was the one that was just like, I'm following my dreams, and she had kids, so.
You pick up where she left off.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's awesome. So we know that you would normally, as DJ Ree was kind of mentioning before you kind of came in, host Mingle Mondays, which is pretty much a platform for up-and-coming artists, and it's an open mic situation as well, right?
Yeah.
For those who maybe want to kind of get out there and just share their gift with other people. So if you can kind of just explain a little bit more about Mingle Mondays and kind of what that platform means for artists like yourself, and those who are kind of up and coming and on their way.
It's a great platform for artists who of any age, but mainly like 90s kids, mainly like 80s, 90s kids, because like this is the crowd that I pull. So when I promote and I have my friends promote and stuff like that, it's always like 80s, 90s kids and stuff like that. So you get those type of followers when you perform on this platform, rather than a Sunday night at the GS Lounge, which is like a older group, and you know, so it's like so this is just that, but younger music, more mainstream music. But we also have poets. We have conscious music. We have a lot of a dope variety of artists that come to Mingle Mondays.
How do you find the talent, or do they kind of reach out to you, or how does that unfold?
I don't have no idea. Like, I mean, sometimes, like starting off, there are certain artists that I'm like, I want you to feature, that I knew personally or seen. But other than that, it was kind of just like, it just grew, and it just happened to be like people that I didn't know that were coming through, and we started getting more followers from just word of mouth. Like once one person knows, and the next person, and then on my way over here, the Uber driver knew what Mingle Mondays was, and I was like, what? Then it turns out that she has a radio show as well. Accelerated Radio or whatever. Yeah. Her name's Cookie. And so she was like, she's like, yeah, I know what Mingle Mondays is. I was like, oh, dope. Cool. So anyway, it's crazy how things spread from word of mouth, and once I tell you something, then somebody else knows. So
is it your creation?
Yes.
Okay.
It's been recreated a few times. But it's always been Mingle Mondays. Like last year, it was always Mingle Mondays. The year before that, there were times where there was no Mingle Mondays at all. And I just happened to walk in there one day when it was completely empty. And there was a flyer online. And it was just like open mic, Mingle Mondays or something like that. Games and whatever. And so I was like, I'm gonna come through. And the next thing I know, the promoter was like, I see you always come in with a few people with you or whatever. And he was like, I want to see what you could do. And at the time, I was having my own open mic called Vintage Soul Sundays. And I was having it on La Brea at this boutique. And next thing you know, that place gets shut down. And then the universe gravitated me towards Mingle Mondays at the GS Lounge. And it was kind of just like that next step up. And from there, we've been growing. So, yeah.
That's a beautiful story.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's the grind, yeah.
Yeah, I know you just rocked the stage last Monday for MLK Day, right?
Yeah.
What was that experience like for you?
Oh my people. Black people are so amazing. They are all of the colors of the rainbow. It's a whole nother vibe when people who are like you support you. And I'm not trying to like stereotype or put certain people in a certain category, but from what I've experienced performing, I've performed in the Valley, and it was predominantly like Hispanics and Caucasian people. And so this vibe, it was a cool vibe. They was really like with me. They was like, oh my God, you're so amazing. Oh my God, your name is Vintage. I was like, yeah. They was like, I want 3 CDs, and I'm gonna tell my friend, I'm about to follow you right now. What's your name? Like, if you say follow me, they immediately pull out their phones, take a picture, post it, like, this is Vintage, follow her. They're so supportive. They don't even give a fuck who you are. Sorry if I'm not allowed to curse. But they don't care who you are. And so
be comfortable.
It was a dope vibe. But it's even doper when people who are like you, who support you, who are the same color as you, and they just be like, yeah, like they be saying the words. And anyway, so that was a really dope experience to have the kids at all ages at the front of the stage, saying hypocrite, like singing my words and everything. It was really dope. I'd do it again. And I would say that was like the dopest experience I ever had on a KJLH stage. So
that's awesome. So where I don't want to give yourself I don't want to give you a time frame or a time limit, but like what are some of your goals and some of the things you would like to see in the coming months, years for yourself?
I feel like I could be happier. I feel like happiness is success, and with success I have goals that I have to accomplish, and with that I have to become one with the things that I want. And like it's kind of like I have to like be a child and imagine things that I really, really want, and say I can have it, basically. So it's a lot of different things that I really, really want. But as far as music and being an artist, I want to be performing in Coachella. That's one of the things.
That's a big venue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to write with Kendrick Lamar. I have it in my notes. Like I'm like
Write
this is about to get real,
right?
You know what I'm saying?
You know what? While you're looking that up, I feel like that's really important. You know, writing things down, and I've told a lot of people, as well as my students. I try to tell them, because they're young, right, to have goals, right, and to dream, because then it gives you something to look forward to.
Yeah.
So even if it's far-fetched, even if you feel like it would never happen, the going through the motions of, okay, if this could happen, like, wouldn't it be so cool if I was able to do this? Like, I have a lot of stuff written down that I feel like I don't know how it can happen, but if God allows it to happen, then I'm with it. I'm walking into it. But you never know.
And you definitely have to like be like truthful to it for it to happen. Like they say, like, you should laugh at things that kind of upset you and stuff like that, but you don't want to laugh, but you want to be happy. So you do it anyway. Or you try to find a way, or someone tries to help you find a way to smile. So it kind of just happens on its own because you want to be happy. Not like I don't know. Anyway, but it's just like, it's kind of like you really want certain things to happen. You won't say it unless you really want it. And if you say something like, I don't know, an earthquake is about to happen, and
oh no, wait,
but you don't,
said, better not be
right. But I don't really believe in it. But I could say it, just like how rappers rap all these songs about how there's certain rappers that rap songs about, you know, doing cocaine and
they don't do none of it.
and fucking all these bitches, and they don't do none of it. They don't even believe in it. They got this one girl that they've been married to for years, or this one girl that they've been down for forever. They do Herbalife. Like, what? So it's kind of like you have to really believe in what you want and know what you really want in order for it to happen, and try and like feel it. Sometimes I try to go back to the time where I get that check in the mail, or that check that hits my bank account, and I say to myself every morning, success and wealth is in my near future. I say that every single morning, and I think of the time that check hits my account, because that's like the closest I'll ever feel to like a lot of money being in my bank account. And so I just be like, okay, cool. Success and wealth is in my future, and I envision the money hitting my account. And I vision like things that make me happy, like me standing on a stage in front of millions of people and listening to my music. So yeah, but
that's dope.
Yeah,
I mean, you have to see it, and you have to, you know, believe it, and then you have to go get it. You gotta, you know, put your foot down and and really get to it. So I mean, it sounds like that's what you're doing. I mean, you just coming through, dropping off good music to us.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's crazy that like I think the number one reason why people don't follow their dreams is because they're fearful of them. They want the easy route. They're fearful of that it's not going to come true. They're fearful of all the energy they have to put into it and like hoping that the outcome is good. But then they're like, it's probably not even going to be the best that it could be. And they're
some people have an opposite perspective. They may not like, they may have seen what success and fame do to people, and you know they don't strive to live, to live that way. But like they say, it's different strokes for different folks.
Yeah.
So I mean, if that's what you want, if that's if you want to be, someone on a pedestal in front of people, and you feel that that's what your gift is, then yeah, share that with the world. But yeah, there others.
Yeah.
May have a different perspective.
That's crazy. I was just thinking of like how there are certain people who just. Jasmine Sullivan says, "If I had a dime for every nigga with a rap dream." Mm-hmm. And
be rich.
Right. I would be rich. She would be rich. Well, she probably is. Well, she is. She's Jasmine Sullivan. But it's like there's so many artists who do music and are all in the same exact lane. And so because they're all in the same lane, there's traffic. They're bumper to bumper. Like, you gotta step outside and do something different that actually impinges. Like, what is scarce? Real music is scarce. It's really scarce. And then it's like you have to search for real music. Like, you gotta go to underground artists or independent artists or Malcolm Moore or Alex Isley or Duran Bernard or whoever to find like this music. And I feel like if you have something different and you know that it's different, you would be cheating yourself by not going all the way and putting it all the way out there, because it could potentially change the game. It could potentially change the world or help somebody's life. Like, we need a Lauryn Hill. We need somebody. We need an Erykah Badu. Mm-hmm. We need a Mos Def, a Nas. You know what I'm saying? Like, it has to level out. It's kind of like you can have the trap music, but you can only have so much of it.
You can only have so much trap.
Right.
Man, can we put that in the hashtag? You can only have so much trap music. And I don't understand.
Exactly.
But I will say, I don't know if you're a part of the 90s era. Mm-hmm. Okay. You guys started this, so now it's kind of like you guys are...
It's like, it is what it is. It's like it is, so shit. Like, now I gotta reverse the shit. Like,
yeah, but I mean, what I will say is this: that every era has had their dance music, and I do appreciate your generation for bringing in that new wave, because I do feel like it's gonna last for some
a minute.
Time. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. It's gonna be different variations of it. I mean, it's gonna be tweaked. Here and there, but yeah, I do appreciate you guys, because I still like to go out and dance and
you make it seem like you're.
I'm not old, but I'm just saying it's a different generation. You don't listen to it.
It is.
I don't. Well, that's because I grew up in an old school household.
Exactly.
Too. You know what I mean?
Well, I didn't grow up in an old household,
but my parents are. No
older.
Offense, parents, but
no offense,
older.
parents.
But you know what I mean?
They're older, and that's what she was brought up on.
I have some friends whose parents are like
in the trap music?
No. Well,
yes,
yeah. But I'm saying like still younger, because your parents could be any age. We don't know. I got a student who has a dad older than my daddy.
Some parents like to be hip. Some parents be like, you know what? I'm gonna leave this in the past, and I'm gonna start whipping and nay-naying, but they don't know when to not do it.
Right.
They want to do it to every song.
But I will say,
wear cheetah leggings.
Yeah. Probably shouldn't do that.
Diamond. Right. I was about to say with the diamond encrusted Jesus sandals. Like.
But I will say that I forgot what I was gonna say. I was gonna say she threw me with the cheetah.
The cheetah leggings that you can see through. Like, why can you see through them, and why are they fading?
Yes, we will come back to that after we come from the break.
Let's talk about All Things Real, your new project.
Cool. All Things Real is my first album. It's something that a lot of people were waiting for, because ever since I dropped Spoken Soul, I was performing a lot, so I was doing a lot of the same songs. They were like, Vintage, when you coming out with something new, what's going on, whatever. And so I was working on I just started working on a few songs, and I write poetry in my phone like on a daily, like even if it's just a line or whatever. And as soon as I get in the studio, I just start piecing things together and music together, and sometimes I make the beat. Sometimes I don't even write. When I get in there, sometimes I just freestyle the whole thing. And that's what Spoken Soul is. Spoken Soul is just being you and releasing whatever you feel without caring. Like, this is
this a new genre or?
Yeah, this is a genre that I actually named.
Okay.
I wouldn't say I created it, but I put this certain type of sound into a lane, and it's Spoken Soul for me. And it's easy to find my music if you just type in Spoken Soul or hashtag Spoken Soul, or go on Pandora and just
She's like,
Spoken
I'm
Soul
everywhere.
Radio. Might as well brand
You gotta promote yourself.
So
branding is
right.
Key. It's key.
So All Things Real is a little bit of everything. It's all things real. Sex, what's going on now.
Is you talking about mass murders? Are you? What you talking about?
No.
You said mass murder. That's what's going on now.
Yeah,
the weather. Are you talking about the weather?
I'm like, you said all things real. That shit is real.
I mean, things that I feel that affect me, and I just gave a little piece of like me, and instead of just giving what people want to hear. And so I realized once I give like what I love and who I am, then people will love me even more, and will like relate to me even more. Not to say that Spoken Soul was not relatable, but I was able to open up and do songs like Dead Dreams, which is just about being your own worst critic. And I'm my own worst critic. At the end of the day, I could say so many positive things to a person and how they should keep going and stuff like that, but I could be that hypocrite that is just like, fuck, like I could have did better. Like my album could be better. I could have sang that better. I could have practiced it better. I could have sat on this a little bit longer and made it a little bit better. Or I could have performed to my best ability, but I didn't. And so that's one of the songs, Dead Dreams, sorry. And yeah, so it's just a little bit of everything. It's a little bit of all things real, so to me.
Cool. Well, I know we gotta go to a break, but before we go to a break, I know you brought some music for us.
Mm-hmm.
So how about you introduce it as we go into our break?
So this song, it's from my album, All Things Real. It's called Listen, and I wrote it when I was in the studio with my girlfriend, and I kind of freestyled it. It was kind of just whatever was on my mind, and I put it out there, and my producer, one of my producers, B Smooth, he made the beat, and yeah, hope you guys like it.
I will give you time to win your kindred. I will take the time to help you make the right decisions. Whoa. Let me show you I'm worth it. We got to hold on. Tell me something I don't know about your soul. 'Cause I'll let time pass me by and we can go listen to your heart, the way it beats. I don't need no more connection in the sheets. Words drip out your mouth. I'll listen. I'll give you time to vent your kindred. When words drip out your mouth, I'll listen. I will give you time to vent your kindred. Words drip out your mouth, I'll listen. I will give you time to vent your kindred. Words drip out your mouth, I'll listen. Give you time to vent your kindred. You wanna listen to your heart, the way it beats. I'll listen. I'll give you time to vent
Before I go to bed every night, I love listening and just logging on to Monday Night Love Sessions on U Nation Radio. Yes, the Tammy Mac listens to the U Nation Radio. The Monday Night Love Sessions with my peeps, Dontrell Detroit, DJ Ree, and we can't forget about my girl, Akila Trinae. Oh, and shouts out to you too, Chris. I see you, boy.
Was I not the host on
You weren't there that day. You weren't there.
Forgot about you.
Shout out to Tammy Mac.
And that's why I don't like her.
Oh, that ain't right.
I said
Hey, she showed Vinci some
sabbatical
love.
or
She gave her a big shout out on KJLH.
that's
Really?
cool.
Yeah. She told people.
Oh yeah. Wait, that was like a few months ago.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
So don't hate on Tammy Mac.
That's
She was
what's up.
yeah.
That's what's up. Next time, you'll just be here and you'll get yours.
I've never left.
Okay. Okay. Well, so, I don't know. What time is it?
It's time for you to
Okay,
get this
so-
topic started.
Okay. So, here we go. Secret expectations. Okay, so let me just give you guys a background real quick.
Okay.
So, I was watching, shout out to my sister. She had sent me this link of move of a sermon that TD Jakes had preached. I think it was last Sunday or whatever. So I'm listening. It was great. If you want to look it up, Google it. But when he was talking, he had mentioned, because he was just talking about the way different people, not just different people, but the way men and women communicate. And he was talking about how oftentimes in relationships, people will have these secret expectations, which means that you have these things that you believe or that ways that you would like for your mate to be. Expectations that you have set in your mind, but they're not communicated to the person that you're with. So when they don't do the things that you've already expected for them to do, you get upset and then you begin to resent them. And when he was talking about all this, it just kind of resonated with me because I was like, dang, like that's really true. So then he began to talk about like when guys get together, they have a way of communicating with each other that oftentimes there are things that if you are with your boys that you don't necessarily have to say. Just some things are just understood. You can say a couple of things, they understand you, you're on one accord, and it's good. But what happens is a man will then take that same communication style back to any women that he's having to communicate, and she's missing the signals because that's not her communication style. That's not the way that she relates, to you. So then a man will get mad, like I don't understand what the problem is. I already said, or I've already communicated to you what the situation is.
You don't get it?
But we miss it.
Sometimes I don't, but I'm gonna let you finish.
And it's vice versa too, as far as
2-on-1 today.
Women then know how to communicate with each other. And I'm not just saying that women just get along. I'm not saying that because we know there's girl drama and all of that. But there's just certain things when a woman gets with her, friends where certain things are understood. It's more of we're just getting together to understand what the situation is. We're not trying to solve any problems. We're just here to listen, hear you out. Girl, I understand. I feel you. You know what I mean? Whereas the guy, on the other hand, he's not really trying to understand and hear all that. He's more of, okay, what's the problem? What can I fix? Oh, there's no problem to be fixed? Why are we having this conversation then? Because the motive in the communication is a little different. And so I just thought that was extremely interesting and an issue because we talk about communication all the time. We all have to communicate, with one another that we miss. And it doesn't even just have to be, a romantic relationship. It's just in general. When men and women are communicating with each other, not always, but the communication styles are different. If I were to maybe grow up in a household with all males, then I probably would catch more of the signs when men are communicating because I've grown up with that. So I'm more used to it, if you get what I mean. The same way with a man who grows up in a house with a bunch of sisters or a bunch of women, he understands. He's way more understanding because he knows, because he's been around that. So he's more in tune, I guess, more sensitive in certain ways, which is very interesting just to know. But I just thought that was interesting, and then I brought a little information, but I just want to hear your thoughts before I go into that. And that's everyone's thoughts, not just you, King.
My thoughts on
those secret expectations.
Oh, no, I don't. I think sometimes that does happen. I think that men do have the tendency to use body language more than actual verbiage. But I think sometimes a man can say what he wants and, express what he wants, and sometimes women aren't willing to bend. Or sometimes she doesn't care, or she's just gonna flat out say no. So it's there's all types of scenarios, but the secret expectations. I believe that is something that can happen and go on in a relationship.
Definitely. I would have to say it all starts in your household. I feel like everything starts in your household, and you're receptive to like 80% of everything that happens in your household. People are different. Like, I grew up in a household where, my mom was married, and well, she is married, but they have a good relationship. I grew up in a goofy household where we bust out dancing, singing, beatboxing, whatever. There would be times when my dad would just turn off the TV and be like, everybody watch Ariel. My real name's Ariel. Everybody watch Ariel. I'll do some crazy, outlandish shit on the floor, and I'm in elementary school doing some wild stuff or whatever. So I had a great I grew up in a great household where everyone communicated, but at the same time, I didn't really get everything that I wanted, which comes with growing up. Like, sometimes you don't get everything you want. So whatever. I have a girlfriend, and so, like, I grew up in a household where, you know, my mom's married to a man. So it's kind of like two straight people don't always raise a straight child. And I'm not even gonna say I'm gay. I just like what I like, and I like spiritual beings, and I just communicate with people who understand me, and I understand them, and I love people. So anyway, two straight people don't always raise a straight child, and two gay people don't always raise a gay child. Or someone who's just like straight, like, this is just what it is. I'm not gonna look at gay people. I don't know, like, whatever. So anyway, you're receptive to whatever you want to be receptive to, and I feel like you have to, when you get into a relationship with somebody, you have to try and understand them, and you have to try and put yourself in their shoes. Like, I'm gonna give you a random thing. Like, a guy wants to eat the girl's booty. Okay? He want to eat her booty, but she's like, I don't want to do that. Like, why do you have to do that? Like, I'm not really feeling it. Like, why do you have to go that far? And I mean, you have to kind of like see, like, from their view, like, he loves your whole body. Like, he wants to touch every crevice. He wants to make you feel good. At the same time, fulfill what he wants.
But some women don't want that. So
some women don't.
But see, that's why secret expectations. She's thinking more so the guy has secret expectations that this girl is gonna like it, and she don't like it.
Right. Right.
Well, that's true.
I know.
No,
I know. I know you.
I wasn't even thinking that. But what I'm saying is that is true. Yes. I mean, because that's part of it. That you, and I don't even. In that case, that would be an expectation. Like, all right, I'm about to show her.
We about to get down.
Us guys, see, what happens is us guys, we have an arsenal, just like how you said, you know, how early do you bring your freak out? So
as early as possible.
Where were you a couple shows ago?
I think you should bring it out as early as possible.
Thank
because
you.
Why would you
Detroit,
hide?
You're missing it.
He's probably watching.
Because
why not? But she feels like you shouldn't give everything, and what I'm saying is that if you want, if you're taking it to this level with this person,
well, it depends on what your
comfortability is.
No. What your motive is, or like what your end game is, or what.
Well,
you know what I mean?
It's not about that. It's like sex is meant to have fun, right? Sex is not to be boring. I don't think that God made.
Well, no.
I don't think God created sex to be boring. So what I'm saying is that if you're not in it to win it, then what the fuck are you in it for? That's my philosophy, and I think that's how it should be approached towards sex. It's like, if I'm not gonna fully give you what I can give you, why am I gonna give you half-ass sex?
Well, we can say it like this.
You know what I'm saying?
A secret expectation in that sense might be what someone is. For example, if you're on that page, right? You gave your example with eating the booty thing, right?
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with eating the booty.
No comment. But
Stopped her in her tracks.
Even still, with that example, if the man or the woman, whomever, you know, because I guess
women do it.
Yeah.
Everybody has a booty.
Booty.
If somebody is going into the situation and they're thinking like, okay, well, I'm not gonna do anything. Let's just say
they're saying, I'm not going to have sex at all, right? But that's not communicated. But it's their own expectation.
Mm-hmm.
And then the man or the woman is going in the situation like, no, I am. And
Yeah,
I'm
like, we about to
turn
get
on
down.
the freak and everything. But again, it's not communicated. So now, when the situation happens, when the two may be alone in a room, and whomever, and I'm not gonna say, listen,
no.
going to happen?
I'm gonna go ahead, go finish.
No,
because
you always try to rearrange and dissect
I'm not
my
rearranging
example.
anything.
I got something too.
I'm just giving
I am not rearranging
I'm just
anything.
giving an example
You
about
can give me
secret
all the examples.
expectations.
That's fine. But
Well, I'm not
with
really
that
giving it to you, I'm giving
expectation,
it
with that
to
expectation comes accountability. With that. Now finish what you're saying, and that all of what I just said is gonna make sense.
All of my point is that what happened in this situation when the two end up in this room is that nobody has communicated anything, but there are expectations that are going on. So unless those expectations are communicated, then what's going to happen is one party, and I'm not saying it's the man or the woman,
Good job.
right, is going to expect something. They might be trying to move to the next level, whereas the other person is like, oh no, that's not what I expected, or that's not what goes down.
Right.
And both people are going to be left feeling some type of way. I'm sure the aggressor in the situation will probably feel worse because, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like, maybe they put themselves out there, maybe not. But the point of the matter is, everything that we expect out of the other person, 9 times out of 10, is not necessarily communicated.
Yeah.
It's almost like, just like how you feel about common sense. There are certain things, there are certain ways a person is supposed to be. What's common sense to you might not be common sense to me. But your expectation is that no, you should have already knew that. But and you feel so strongly about it.
Right.
So when somebody does something,
like, you didn't put the toilet paper on the seat.
Everybody know that the 405 runs north and
Oh my
south.
goodness.
Everybody know
No,
that the
everybody
91
doesn't
runs
know
east and
that.
if you lived in LA for more than 5-10 years, you should know these
but you
things.
know what I'm saying? How you feel so adamantly about it. It's like if that's
But that's
not,
common sense to
It's not common.
That's common sense to Google Maps. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, everybody got a phone.
Let me tell you,
like,
I've been living in LA for maybe about 12 years, and I still am like, dang, is it north? Is it
that's
south?
because you still got Oakland on the brain.
Well, because that's also I don't want to embrace this place, but
I
you know what I'm
think
saying?
that we all expect something, and I feel like if you are trying to get into a relationship with somebody, then you should always put your best foot forward, because you would only want the same
In
for
return.
you. And everyone who is looking for love is basically looking for a reflection of themselves. And that's why people say, like, you're a reflection of me. Like, I love you. I'm always going to love you because you are a reflection of me. You're everything that I could ever want for myself. And I'm going to give you everything that you could ever want because we're so the same.
Mm-hmm.
And so when there are expectations that you have that aren't being fulfilled, it's because you have not gained the mental stability with one another yet to be like, I don't have to say anything, like, this is what it is, or I am gonna say something because, well, you should know. And I feel like when you get into a relationship with somebody, you should go all the way in. If you eat the booty, well, then you need to show them right off when you have sex, not next year.
Don't wait to eat the booty. Don't wait.
Show them your full personality.
Exactly.
I'm seeing your whole personality right now versus somebody that you're trying to scout out for or try to date. You probably be like, yeah, like, I'm gonna see what she gonna do first, and then if she's showing herself, then I'm gonna be comfortable with her or whatever. But you should always go in like yourself. Like, you should always go in the way that you are, because if you go have sex with somebody and you just gonna do the little military You're not gonna eat the poom poom. You ain't gonna eat the booty. You suck on the nipple for 2 minutes.
On the nipple.
And you mainly just kiss. You mainly kiss, but you like to get a massage in. You wanna rub the feet, lick the back of the knee. You wanna go in. But you're not gonna do it because you're too scared. You're scared to show your real emotions, and that's the number one problem that this generation has. Is they're not ready to show themselves.
Some humans have that. It's a lot of humans that have that, and it's sad because, like I said, sex was made to be fun.
Yeah.
Why half-ass it?
Well, Jesus Christ.
Sorry. Jesus Christ did not create this.
I agree with your statement. Right?
Thank you for agreeing
I agree with your
my
statement. However, I'm coming from a different point of view because it's almost like so I'm Christian. I know you guys know.
I'm Christian too.
But you said you're a liberal Christian.
I am.
Right? So you believe in, when you meet somebody, eat the booty right away and the boom boom and all of that other stuff.
I believe in if I have a understanding and an agreement with this person and we've shared time together to get to know one another and we feel like we can mentally and cognitively take this leap together, I'm going to eat her booty. All night long.
But if she don't want it, you won't do it though.
Exactly.
Exactly.
But that's where communication comes in, and then I know, okay, well, she's not that type of freak. Let me slow down.
Ooh.
Like I'm not just gonna force my tongue on her booty.
Right.
But if
no,
she
you
likes,
gonna take this tongue in this booty. I don't care.
If she likes the tongue in the booty and she smiles and she moans, then I'm gonna go.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go deep, and the deeper that I go, more than likely she's going to like that. So. My point is, again, do not wait to express yourself, because what happens is you'll wait to express yourself, and then you'll get somebody set on, or you'll think, okay, well that person will be like, oh well, wow, that's all I get, or this is how this person is, and that may turn them away. Well, that could have been something that. Something beautiful, but you half-assed it and you overthought it.
I think it still can be beautiful in the sense of if you're coming at it from a different approach. So obviously you guys are coming at the approach of you meet somebody, you're sexually free and what do I want to call it?
Sexually liberal?
Liberated or whatever, right? But it doesn't mean that somebody who is choosing not to go all in right away is not liberated as well. It just means that you're going to take other precautions, you know what I mean, before you go all in. Now, I'm not taking anything away from those who are sexually free. You do you, because you're obviously going to need to be with another person who is just as free as you are. You get what I mean? In order to, or you might stray away. Or you might have the patience to say, you know what?
I'll take my time
because I feel like it may be worth it. I am just under the belief that regardless of whomever I'm going to be with long term, as far as marriage and all of that other stuff, that it's going to be great and it's going to be amazing. Whether it takes 3 months, I'm not going to say like 5 years and all the other stuff. Right. But you get what I mean? I just feel like it's going to be great because just like you said, that's what it was created for, to be beautiful. You know what I mean? Now, if we're talking about you're in a marriage situation and you're not being sexually free and you're uncomfortable and things like that, then that is a terrible position to be in because now you've already committed to this person for life and you're still restraining yourself. You get what I mean? Mm-hmm. So it's like, it doesn't matter how you get there, but once you get to that point, I feel like, yes, you should be comfortable. You should be free. You should be able to express yourself in the way that is comfortable for you or for both parties. You get what I mean? Because like you said, going back to your booty example, if they don't like it, but that's what you want to do, and that's kind of how you want to express yourself and show your love to that person, then you not being able to do that is going to then cause a hindrance later on. Because the expectation is, I'm waiting, I'm being patient, eventually I should be able to get to the point where I want to express myself fully. But then if you're not getting that, then again, you're gonna have problems long term because you're still not in the realm where you can be free and be who you are.
Yeah.
You get what I mean?
So who we got on the line? We got a call.
Oh, of course. Oh, that's why you got that picture up. This picture is, show that picture too while he's talking. Caller.
Talk.
Are you there?
Yeah, man.
Show the picture because
What's
it goes
good?
with his.
Y'all funny as shit is what y'all are. I would miss the ass eating day, I guess.
Oh, you're missing all of the ass eating.
Loser.
All of it.
I'm watching it. I mean, Chris was supposed to Skype me a long time ago, but I guess he gave up on that.
Forget your Skype.
Yeah,
and your Uber.
Right, but I wouldn't really know about it. But to this point, especially Akilah, with these secret expectations, like we're not all on the same timetable, you know. So, in the situation to where, let's just say something normal, just straight between that you can get with, which would either be truth telling, or being honest, or good sex in just a regular way, nothing freaky, just straight out good sex, truth telling. So if you and a friend dated the same guy, and you felt like he was horrible, but she had raving reviews about that same guy. You know, she said he had the best sex and he was the most honest. He ended up being the most honest dude she had ever been with. But you felt he had the worst sex and was the most lying dude you had ever been with. And then when you got back and talked to him, he was like, well, what was the difference? And he told you, well, I was with her for 2 years, and, in the second year, I decided to give her, good dick and tell her the truth, but y'all was only together for, 90 days, and he didn't feel like it was sooner. He felt like it was too soon to do all of that, because he didn't really know you like that. It wouldn't make any sense to you, but not everybody's on the same timetable, so the reason why people do go all out or do some of that stuff in 90 days, whatever your threshold is for freakiness, whatever it is you got. Some people just don't have that in the arsenal. You put that up front because you want the enticement for it to be over time. There's no guarantee that you're going to do something later if you don't do it now. We know I want my girl to like a girl eventually, or at least to deal with another girl. But if she never shows me that at all before marriage, why should I think that she's ever going to do that or expect her to do it after marriage? Now, if we have those conversations tentatively, then that's different. But we can't always assume, because if I assumed that, if I just assumed anything about you that wasn't true, you'd be like, why'd you assume? Oh. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's a dumb expectation.
The point is that you would have a conversation about it. Like the problem is the secret expectations that people have, but at the same time, people are under different timetables, and also people are under different belief systems and philosophies morale. and morale and all of that, and that's why it's important. That's why it's important to have the conversation, because, and it doesn't mean that everything you'll have a conversation about. It's just the idea that sometimes you can be on totally different pages and you resent the person for what you thought in your head that you never communicated. So how can I be extremely upset with you for something I never said? I just thought it. I assumed it. I believed it to be true, but yet I never even told you. I never even said anything to you about it.
Communication is key, because there are instances where I've been upset before, because like sometimes my girlfriend, she'll be like, well, you didn't know, you didn't get it, like, I mean, like, I looked at you a certain way, like, you didn't understand. I'm like, no, like, you could have just told me and I would have not done it, or I would have talked to you more about it so you can understand where I'm coming from or why I'm doing something, rather than saying, well, I shrugged my shoulders, you didn't get it, or I winked at you, you didn't understand. It's kind of like, talk, like, say something so that we can get to a whole nother page. Like, why are we just gonna have this situation and not say anything about it? And we could sit, it's frustrating, especially like when you have the conversation and you don't reach a solution, You ever had one of those where you just be like, damn, like I'm just frustrated because I don't have a solution for it. So, but at least you know that it's on the table and that you can grow from it, or try and learn something new about your partner, try and put yourself in their shoes and try and realize what's really going on. Like, what's good with you? Like,
because a lot of it happens subconsciously. Like,
yeah.
Well,
I didn't realize that that's something that I thought that I never communicated. So now that I'm upset, frustrated, irritated, now I'm thinking back like, well, I guess I never really did say anything about that. And depending on how you go about the situation, you would either say something about it then, or you just have to let that go. It's like one of those things where if I didn't tell you before, I can't really get mad at you now. But moving forward on the next time, if you don't want it to happen again, or you want something to be made known, that would then be something you have to communicate. But the problem is understanding the person that you're trying to communicate with, their communication style. Because if I keep telling you the same way, you're never going to get it. Because that's not the way that you communicate or you understand. So, you know, I tell my boyfriend all the time, like, this is the way I communicate. This is the way I understand things. He thinks he's putting things simply. And I'm like, no, I don't understand it. You have to, like, give me an example. You have to paint the full picture, but that's the way that I understand. So if you continue to tell me your way of communicating or just the simple way, then I probably won't get it.
That's true. That's true. We also got to make things unanimous across the board to make things easier. So you can't just be like, well, it's cool for you just to go down and give me head without asking, but you can't turn me over for doggy style and ask me first. You feel me? Or be creative and be initiative and just plan my date, but then make sure you give me, you know, full heads up of.
I'm sorry.
What in the hell are you talking about?
No, I'm saying the reason why people miscommunicate is because we don't make things unanimous across the board. We'll say, assume this, you feel me, but take initiative and do that. You feel me? So people like that, like the example that Vintage gave.
Well, I got you. So, like, for example, like if a dude like wakes his girl up to head every night, he's under the assumption that, you know, he should get head more often as well, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Gotcha.
Or just with different stuff. Like it was okay for him to not ask and give her head. He just did it. That's cool. That's normal, right? But then he went down and ate the booty, and she like, what the fuck is you doing? That's a violation of my rights. Well, you know, I just went down there and gave you head. It wasn't an issue. You feel me? But we don't put everything on the same plane like that. So there's no discretion as to what is or what should be talked about and what should be talked about. And so we assume, like, well, he got that much on his own. You know, he should be able to get that much on his own, or she got that far, she should be able to get the rest. When in actuality, we should table everything and be okay with it.
So you overstepping boundaries?
Who, me?
Yes,
no. I'm slick. You can get away with everything I want to do.
Slick.
I hear you. So random to me.
Huh?
I'm sorry I missed you, Vintage.
These expectations.
No, what? These expectations. That's
I expect my booty to get eaten.
Nah, I mean, my thing is it's a lot.
But I'm not gonna tell you. What? I mean,
people be like that.
But some women are like that though, and it's like don't play the mind games. Like, don't, you know what I'm saying?
Why make it hard for me to understand you? Like,
just tell me I like my booty ate.
Or just, if you're gonna have sex, do it the way you're gonna do it. And you know what, if you can't have sex with this person, or you know that you can't really be physically connected if you do this, so then you don't tell them right then. I feel like you shouldn't, like, you having sex, you're already in the moment. Don't be like, why the fuck are you eating my... Oh, no, hell, that ruins the whole mood. So just...
Wait till afterwards.
If you realize that or do it enough for... well, if you realize that she don't really be feeling it, then just chill. Or only do it a little bit if it's your first time. And then just, like, make sure that you please her, rather than, I'm just eat the booty for, like, 30 minutes because this is what I feel that she gonna like.
What did he say,
and then
I didn't even know he was still on the phone.
And then I'm gonna just stick it in.
He ain't missing his booty for nothing. Pause.
Why do you have it on 3?
Right. Because then,
crazy.
So then afterwards, like you should have the conversation, like randomly, like, you know what? I don't really be feeling like getting my booty eat. Like, if like we could do something else. Like, do you understand where I'm coming from? Though, like it's kind of different. 8. It's not like I'll let you know what I want when we have sex.
I feel like the topic turned into secret expectations of eating the booty.
Of eating the booty.
You said
vintage.
I didn't say secret expectations of the booty eating.
What secret? Okay, so you have this paper. I want to read it since you brought it, and we got like 4 minutes. So
I'm gonna get off the phone, y'all.
5 ways.
Just hang up.
5 ways men and women communicate differently. Number 1, why talk? He believes communication has a clear purpose. Behind every conversation is a problem that needs solving or a point that needs to be made. Communication is used to get to the root of the dilemma as efficiently as possible. She uses communication to discover how she is feeling and what it is she wants to say. She sees conversation as an act of sharing and an opportunity to increase intimacy with her partner. Through sharing, she releases negative feelings and solidifies her bond with the man she loves.
That's a good feeling. It's kind of like when you get into or you know that you cheated on somebody, and like the feeling of like cheating on somebody and not telling the person that you're with that you stepped out of the relationship and had sex with somebody else or kissed somebody else or whatever. And the moment that you let them know, I mean, at the end of the day, like you're not gonna feel right. You're gonna feel like one of my closest friends. I'm not trying to put him on the spot. He probably not even listening. But he or she got into this fling with someone, and he or she basically like,
I thought it was a he.
Okay, sorry. I'm gonna just say he. So he has a girlfriend. Then he ends up coming out to LA and ends up having a fling with this girl. And the reason being is because he's like, well, I'm just not happy. And the only reason not the only reason, but one of the reasons that you can not be happy in a relationship is if you have lies and you're not confronting them, because it's just eating you up alive and you just like going forward with this relationship and not really saying anything about it or trying to grow from it by stop doing it and just tell her what it is. Babe, I'm sorry already. If you want to take a break, I understand. I did something that was wrong and I stepped out of our relationship, and it only feels good for me to let it out and let you know so then I can move forward. If you don't want to be with me, I understand, because why would you step out of a relationship and go and do something with somebody when you know that you love this person? So anyway,
well, the truth of the matter in that situation is that most of the time, even if a person's been cheated on, they're going to take the person back anyway.
Yeah.
So being able to have that moment of honesty, I think, and clarity would really help a relationship grow versus I'm trying to cover it up. I'm not going to be honest. I'm going to hide.
Not if the nigga don't want to be with her.
Well, I mean, but if he doesn't want to be with her, then he would just say, I don't want to be with you anymore, right?
Because obviously he stepped out for a reason.
But like the source of the problem is he had always not been faithful to this girl. And he never really had a straightforward relationship. I've known this kid since middle school.
Jesus.
Never had a straightforward relationship with somebody. He always had somebody who was just like giving him everything that he wanted, but he wasn't giving them his full potential of loving. And so, anyway, the moral of the story is that he stepped out of a relationship and said that he wasn't happy. But the reason being he's not happy is because he has all these lies that he has never confronted to any of these women. So it's kind of hard to move forward when you haven't said anything. When I get into it,
and then that's a lot of stuff that people would have to. I mean, I just had this thought about what you were saying, because with the secret expectations and even all of that, it would seem to me that there's a lot of stuff for him that he would have to confront about himself. You get what I'm saying? Before he can really be honest. Not to go back to you, Cameron, but to go back to you. I feel like for you and your situation, you've already confronted yourself and who you are and who you want to be. Would that be correct or incorrect?
Correct.
Right? So everything you do from this moment on, or from the moment of when you had the clarity for you, it's what you feel like you should be doing to stay true to who you are, so you can continue in that space, so that you're not feeling like you're being somebody else. Right. Or right?
Correct.
Okay, so then once that's done, then you can kind of be more honest with the person that you're with. Now, doesn't mean you don't change, you don't grow, and all that other stuff, but it just means that now, instead of pretending like you don't like certain things or you don't do certain things, you can be honest about it, and now you can have an honest conversation about what that is.
Yeah, but sometimes that person is not willing to accept you for you.
But you can't do anything for the other person.
They gotta have.
All you can do is for you.
I understand, but that person may. I mean, but for my thinking of that type of situation, like, what's the point if somebody's having to bend or change or whichever? Or having to compromise some of who they are to please or to whatever for someone else, and then they still not.
Because I just feel like that's, in my opinion, that's what a relationship is. Like, you are now
one
with another person, so it's like it would obviously be easy for you not to have to bend at all or change or do anything if you're by yourself. And if that's, you know what I mean? Like, when you sign up to be in a relationship, I feel like that's kind of what you're signing up for. And it doesn't have to be a terrible thing, but if you feel as though the things that you're doing in order to have to appease that woman in your life, and you don't feel like you're still being true to yourself, then I feel like that would hurt you more in the long run. So it'd be like, no, I'm sorry, I won't be able to continue this relationship with you because I can't be who I am, and I have to be who I am to continue to be true. You know what I mean?
High five.
I think that sometimes you can grow with someone negatively, which would help you not be who you are, and sometimes you can grow with somebody positively. And the relationship that I'm in now, I've grown so much compared to the relationships that I've only been in 3 relationships. The relationship that I was in before, I wasn't growing. I probably wouldn't even be vintage. The relationship before that, I wasn't growing. I probably wouldn't be sitting here at all. And it just took one person who had a vision and was really following her dreams, and I was trying to follow mine, but I kept getting backed. And I was trying to figure out, like, why? In every relationship I was in, I was getting suppressed. It was like this person had their life, but I didn't have mine. And it was like I didn't know what I wanted yet or who I was yet. And they did. And so, anyway, I feel like it depends on the type of relationship you have, like, with the person, like, whether it's positive or negative. And with this relationship that I have, I've grown immensely in a year. And that reflects on you. A bad relationship or a good relationship, it reflects on you. You can go downhill or you can go uphill. You can try and go up, but this negative influence that you claim to love is pulling you back. And every time you try to reach, your hand is getting slapped, like every single time. And so anyway, on her end, I've also helped her grow positively, because I try to be a very positive person, and she was in a horrible relationship to where she was not very positive about life, and I've helped her grow as well. So it's kind of like there's a balance. You have to like figure out like what the balance is and what's needed. And if you're not growing with a person, then what's the point of being with them? Because you've already found yourself. She's already found herself. Now it's time to come together and fucking transform. Like, is we gonna build a family? What's our next goal? What are we gonna do together? What are we gonna accomplish? What country are we going to next? How much money are we gonna make this year? Let's go. Like, let's get some shit done. Like, what's next? So I think that once you get into a relationship, if you're not growing and you're not happy and you feel like this person has a negative vibe and you don't know what it is, it's not right.
Let it go.
Let it go.
Well, we want to thank you, Vintage, for joining Monday Night Love Sessions and U-Nation Radio family.
Yeah.
This has been another edition, and it's about that time. And
real quick, tell us where we can find your music.
You can find my music on iTunes, on Spotify, Pandora, everywhere. CD Baby, SoundCloud.
Remember, she's everywhere.
Yeah, everywhere. Google me. No, I'm just kidding. Just type in Vintage with an E, Ventage. You can find my album Spoken Soul or All Things Real. I believe All Things Real is $9.99 and Spoken Soul is $6. So check that out. And other than that, I have a few things happening this year. I'll be opening up for Rihanna in May. So look out for that May. I think it's May 3rd or 4th. One of those 2 days at the Forum. So that's going to be really dope. And I have a few other things. So just follow me on Instagram at Vintage or at The Vintage on Instagram, which is like my official little fan page I've created. Other than that, I'm thankful to be here, and thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Well, this has been an awesome show. This is Monday Night Love Sessions. So we were also talking about dreams tonight. So how fitting I will play Guapole Closer to My Dreams. Good night, everybody. Follow us up on Scope for the after show.
Closer to my dreams. I'm getting high, closer to my dreams. I'm getting high.